Okay, so I just finished Monster for the second time. Last time I read this series was years ago, and this is the first time I've actually finished it. Or finished it physically, at least. I read it online because so many people have said great things about it. Top 10 lists have regarded this as one of the greatest manga series of all time. Read it, and it was amazing. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but reading it physically is always better in my opinion. I don't know. That's just personal preference. Obviously, it's some placebo effect of whatnot. It's the same content, but just having that book in your hand, there's some sort of archaic feeling. Almost makes you feel like you're in a library. But getting back to the point here, thoughts on it. Is this my favorite manga of all time? I don't think so. Um, it is goddamn by far one of the greatest page turners when it comes to manga. This is a series that'll get you hooked, and you just want to keep reading and reading and reading and reading. You want to know what happens next, 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 and next. It is for sure a very um, tension built series. He is the master of building up. He's a drama essentially, you know, building up these moments, these payoffs, and then we go to another scene, and we don't know, we haven't resolved the current scene, and then later on you find out what actually happened there. It's a giant puzzle. It's a giant mystery. It doesn't feel like a mystery in a sense where you have to solve it, because you don't, at least me reading it, I don't think that you can possibly figure this out. um, it's something that just kind of unravels as it goes. Don't try, if this is your first time reading Monster, don't try your hardest to try to figure it out. I don't think you will be able to. And there's really nothing to figure out. It's more of just seeing these characters grow and handle the situations at hand, and make amends. That's what this series is. You're introduced to a bunch of different, if you want to call them heroes. Everyone is, that's what I liked about it, is everyone essentially is given their moment to shine, to make amends, or to stray away from that path and go down the path of destruction, which Johan is the ringleader, the taunter who, essentially what he does is he leads people astray on this path of destruction. And I loved it. It was a great series. Again, I've read it before, but this second time hooked me just as much. I finished it in about a week, I think, when I started reading it. I think today I finished the last like 6 volumes I needed. I was just like, come, I want to wrap this up. I want to remember what happens. I felt like a new experience reading it this time. And I don't think, honestly, every time I finish a series, I am very quick to be like, this is my favorite manga series of all time. For sure, Monster is top 10. For sure. Maybe top 5, but I still prefer Vagabond, Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, and possibly Kingdom. For sure, Monster has more depth than probably all of those. Arguably, maybe not Vagabond or Lucifer, but for sure it has more depth than Kingdom on the philosophical, psychological aspect and that nature. I think Monster itself, it has a lot to do with dormant memories, being abused, the abuser continuing the cycle of abuse, stopping the cycle of hate, the cycle of revenge. It has a lot of philosophical ideas, dilemmas, moral dilemmas. Is revenge right? Is it wrong? But at the end of the day, sometimes revenge is all that, even if it costs giving up everything, it's all that puts your soul at ease, in some cases, at least. But I'm rambling. What do I want to say here? I want to say Monster's a great manga series. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend reading it. It is for sure one of the greatest mangas ever written. If there's a top 50 manga list of all time, I would no doubt say that Monster is in there. I'm really enjoying his other works. I haven't read Pluto yet, but that's next on the list. But I don't want to read it online. I want to own it. That's primarily why I haven't read it yet. I'm slowly reading 20th Century Boys with these new perfect editions that I highly recommend checking out. We are barely going to get the second one this month, and it's actually paining me, physically and mentally paining me, that I'm not reading the story any faster, but them the breaks when you're reading it as it comes out. And I'd highly recommend Naoki Urasawa. He is probably one of my favorite mangakas of all time. Top 5 for sure. Man, he's fucking. Honestly, I want to say he's probably my 1 or 2 favorite of all time, just because all of his work is fucking phenomenal. So yeah, check out Monster. Check out any of his work. It's amazing. Read it online. Buy it physically. There's these perfect editions. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Toast your kid out. Just rambling about Monster. Later.